Zdravím všetkých. Today I thought it would be fun to just kind of maybe go to the Staré Město area of Bratislava and show you what Bratislava is looking like at the end of November 2023. Now I really enjoy wintertime and summer as well, but I think wintertime is really nice. You can see that there's, you know, the sky, it's very overcast, so I think it's cozy and comfy. And anyway, I thought we would take a ride on one of these Bolt scooters. Now you'll see people riding these scooters around town pretty frequently, and in other major cities in Europe. It's not unique to Slovakia, but I'm gonna go ahead and put on the camera. Okay, now I need to scan the scooter so that we can rent it temporarily, and I forget how much it costs, but it's pretty cheap. So you kind of just have to scan it, the little QR code with your phone. This one's at 54%. That doesn't sound good. Let's try the other one. 50%. Oh, that one's even less. Damn. Okay, so I scanned the 3 Bolt scooters that are here, and the one with the most battery is the initial one, so it's at like 50 something percent. Here, let's scan that again, and let's start the ride. All right, so it looks like we're good to go now. All right, so we're kind of good to go. First, we're gonna cross the street. All right, so we're going. We are heading out. So I don't know what this street is called, but we are getting closer to Staré Město, onto Obchodná. And well, I just thought it would be kind of fun to show you a bit of the streets of Bratislava in November. It's not raining at the moment, but it looked like it did rain earlier today or maybe last night. Hey, we're doing a little voiceover. So I just wanted to apologize for the camera angle. This was my first time kind of filming with the GoPro attached to my chest. Thanks to my dad, he gave me this kind of necklace that has a magnet on it. So anyway. And here to my right is... So that building is called the Slovak Radio Building. Sometimes locals call it the Radio Diamant. But it's just a uniquely constructed building for a radio tower. Like the design, the architecture is interesting. Somewhat of an infamous building here in Bratislava. I think it's called like the Upside Down Pyramid. It's like I think it's like a radio station or like a television station building or something like that. But this would be a cool place to maybe get a tour of at some point. This place is supposed to be kind of like an interesting little part of the city. And up ahead on the right is going to be the street Obchodná. I made a video about Obchodná a little while ago. If you haven't watched it, you might find it interesting. So here we're getting a bit closer to Staré Město. We have to go through an area called Obchodná. Now Obchodná is just kind of meaning stores, like Store Street, because it's just a one long street where the trams go through the center. Whew. And here we're now approaching Obchodná. And there's tons of stores, shops, like all kinds of places. I know it's not very crazy or unique or interesting to the local Bratislavans here, but I think it's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of San Francisco in a way. And yeah, as you can see, a lot of the people are dressed appropriately for the cold weather. Lots of coats, beanies, boots, things like that. Something that I wanted to mention while we passed the McDonald's on Obchodná is in Slovakia, the McDonald's here, around this time of year, they have a few unique food items on the menu. While I'm always not so big on eating fast food, like eating McDonald's all the time, I do think some of the food items would be interesting to share, because one in particular I think many people will find strange and probably not very tasty, but I think it's okay. I think it's decent. It's good. Something that you'll notice at the top part of the video, just at the skyline, is the Bratislava Castle. Now, I think it's very cool that you can see the Bratislava Castle from Obchodná, and also when you visit the castle, you have an amazing view of Bratislava and the Danube River, a bit of Staré Město, just a really good viewpoint to go sightseeing. All right, so that's gonna about do it for the scooter ride for the moment. Let me see if I can drop off the Volt scooter here. Hang on a sec. Well, I managed to park the scooter, so we're basically in Stade Mesto now. Here is tram crossing by, and we're gonna go ahead and see what the Christmas markets kind of look like in November. And here we've made it just past Michael's Gate. Now there are quite a few streets in the Stade Mesto area, but the whole district has this really nice old feel to it. You can see the brick road, and the architecture of the buildings is that classic old European style, which you just don't really get in the United States. Maybe in some places on the East Coast you have older buildings, but you can see the style of the buildings and how they're painted, how they're constructed. You know, it's not just great build quality, but it just is very, very aesthetic, and I am a fan of it. And this large white building on the right that you just saw a few people taking photos of, that is the Galeria Michalski Dvor, meaning Michael's Gate Gallery or Michael's Court Gallery. So it's an art gallery. But you can really see how in late November in Bratislava, how everyone is getting prepared for Christmas. Like there's just so much Christmas decorations, many Christmas lights all around, and obviously the Christmas markets. This video is just kind of acting as a little bit of a daytime preview of what the Christmas markets look like. This is not going to be the full video on the markets that I'll be doing a bit closer to Christmas. And but there's already a lot of people around here, which you can see. So people are already out and enjoying, you know, the music, the food, spending time with each other, taking photos of, you know, the square here, and just the overall like Christmas vibe has come in even in late November. Looks like they're filming something too. And you'll have to excuse this recording, as you'll notice that the lights are flashing, and that is, you know, because of the difference of 60 hertz and 50 hertz. So the real in-depth Christmas market video will be filmed in 50 hertz so that we don't have any flickering, because I know this is kind of unpleasant. At the Christmas markets in Slovakia, there really are so many food items and drinks that you have to try. Like, for example, there is something called Tsiganska, which is like a chicken or a pork sandwich, Varne Vino, which is mulled wine, punch, Lokshe, which is a potato dough that you can put many different toppings on. It can be sweet or savory. You can get goulash, langosh, a cheese called hermelin, something called pagats, Priato, it's a winter drink. Chai with rum. Medovina, now that I haven't tried. Maybe we'll try that in the actual video. That's wine that's made from honey. You can get strudels. And my favorite savory dish from the Christmas markets is Zemiakowe placki. It's a very thick, like a savory potato pancake, which you can put like sauerkraut on, sour cream on, meat, onions, garlic, like so many different things, and it's super delicious. And then, of course, we can't forget about trdelník. Trdelník is kind of like a classic Slovak and Czech dessert. Well, that's all I've got for today. I just wanted to show you a bit of how to use one of the Bolt scooters if you ever come here, and what does the Stadomestal and Christmas market area look like at the end of November, getting ready for Christmas. It's already going in November. That feels early to me. I feel like these things should wait until December 1st, but that's just me. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video or wanted to say something about it, feel free to comment down below, give the video a like, and if you want to see more videos about life in Slovakia from an American perspective, then feel free to subscribe. That's all I've got. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.